Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool Autism Life. My name is Jamie, and this week's video I am so happy to be back with the Homeschool Show and Tell put on by Jessica from the Wild Duck Way and Abby from Root and Rest. Thank you so much, ladies. They have put together for several years now this open collaboration where we share just how different everyone's homeschool experience can be. We can make it work for our family, we can make it work for our kids, and I'm just so thrilled and so excited to be back. I wanted to share a little bit about myself for those of you who have never seen me before. Again, my name is Jamie. I homeschool 3 kiddos, and I talk and share mostly about homeschooling a special needs child along with typical children. My son is 15 years old and he has autism, and that really has informed how our homeschool works, how I teach him, how my girls have needed to take on more independence, and how we make that work. And so this month's video we are sharing about our morning routines. And we're here in front of my usual filming spot. I will take you to our morning routine in the living room in a little bit. But the biggest thing is that I needed to share is our day for our homeschool usually starts about around 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. for our family time, putting together like our morning basket time, that sort of thing. Because my son, one of the things with autism is that they don't sleep very well, and so he struggles to fall asleep. So my usual bedtime is around between 1 and 2 in the morning, which means I'm a tired mama and I do not wake up. The cloud went behind, or the sun went behind a cloud. I do not wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. There's no way, no how. I have always needed more sleep than the average mama bear. And so that really has informed my girls. Next week's video, you are going to, if you're interested, see what the girls do independent of me while I am catching up on sleep, and as is my son. So he and I just our family has a different way of doing things, and the amazing thing about this collaboration is that it's showing it's okay to be not one of those moms who gets up at the crack of dawn. I am always amazed at those who do, but that's not my life, and that's okay. And so it's really just, I'm hoping, highlights the amazingness that we can all do the same job of home educating our children, raising our children, having relationships with our children, and it look vastly different from everyone else's. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So the other part of this is that today it's a little bit later because I've been filming and doing some other things, but I wanted to take you along with our together time. You will see mostly just me. You will hear other little voices maybe. It's just a rule that I have felt convicted about, is that I'm not going to show my children in any great way online, and I hope that you're okay with that. But you'll get a good glimpse of what we do. So thank you so much, and I'll bring you back in a second. It's read aloud time, girls. Sometimes they're done their morning routines and I have to call them in from outside or from reading in their rooms or whatever to come to read aloud time. So that's what's happening now. All right, my Darian, it's read aloud time. Do you want to stay and listen to the story, or do you want to do your leapfrog?
You know, I want to do leapfrog.
You want to do leapfrog? Okay, let's go get your book or your leapfrog. So this is what his preferred activity is. Oh, and it didn't turn on. And it's full of different learning apps and stuff like that, little educational shows, and that's what he prefers to do, which is okay with me because his sisters can be a lot. So this is our living room. This is where we do our read aloud time. And I have a cart here that is serves as his serves as Darian's homeschool items, and I have it all ready. He has puzzles, he has a whole bunch of other things that we do with him on a day-to-day basis. But this little shelf here, this little thing has our read aloud stuff in it. And so on a rotating basis, we are going to be doing, hi you. Monday we're doing Window on the World. That's one of the things that we're doing. So right now we're doing the Africa unit, and so I'm picking out pages and we're praying for different people groups in different countries in Africa. On Tuesday we're doing Evidence for the Bible. On Thursday we are doing this Material World, and today is technically Thursday, but we're doing it Wednesday because we had to move Fun Friday to a Monday for the holiday. And so today we are doing the Hungry Planet. These Material World and Hungry Planet actually came from Abby from Root and Rest, because I saw them and was like, that is brilliant, I must do that. And so that also, this thing holds our read aloud for the month and a bit, and so we're actually reading the Golden Goblet. So you've seen where I store things, and now we will get into our morning routine. So one of the first things that we do for read aloud time is we sing a hymn. So we have several different ones that we have done all of last year that had to do with our Fruit of the Spirit study that we are doing. This year we are doing Amazing Grace. I think we've done it once before, haven't we, girls? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we're doing it because we're doing the Africa unit, and this hymn was written by John Newton. And who is John Newton, girls?
A person.
True enough, he was a person.
He was a slave hunter.
A slave trader. Yeah.
And then he became a missionary.
Well, a minister, right? Because God got a hold of his life. So we sing that. You're going to see me. I'm doing, this is how I get my exercise in, is we do read aloud, or I do read aloud from the exercise bike, and the girls will sometimes do exercise. So girls, here's your hymns. Nara?
You can reach it.
And the girls will sometimes very quietly do exercise on the floor. I used to have them do coloring pages. But apparently that got old too quickly. So let's sing. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. So the last verse, we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. What do you think that means?
I think that means that
when we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun.
God has always been there, and he shines brighter than the sun.
Okay. Nara, what do you think? It says, we've been there. Immortal. Yeah, it's talking about heaven. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we have no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. So what do you think that means?
I think it means that
we've no less days. So it's the same idea. Stop. It's the same idea that Nara said already, is that we've been there already 10,000 years. We're going to have another 10,000 years. It's just like we first begun, right? So it's an amazing thing. Okay, so the book that we're going to be going through this year, instead of the Fruits of the Spirit, which is what we did last year, this year we are doing the New Answers Book 1. And so we've been talking about, is there really a God? Right, girls? And we talked...
I bet it says no.
That's not what it says. We talked about the evidence of intelligence, right? Mount Rushmore didn't happen by itself. There was evidence. And then we talked yesterday about how all of, even non-believers, see intelligent design. Stop doing that. You're doing it on purpose. We're showing or recognizing that there was intelligent design, right? But without any God, right? All right, so we're going to read about who or what is the designer then, if it's not God, right? Let's keep reading. So, survival of the fittest, right? If you're not strong enough to survive, then you shouldn't survive. And the one that is the strongest survives. That's how, and he's saying God is not necessary in that process, right?
If that's how it worked in heaven, I'm going to survive a day.
So Dawkins does, however, concede that the more statistically improbable a thing is, the less we can believe that it just happened by blind chance. So he seems very confused, don't you girls think? He says it's like even the natural selection has to happen in a special way, but it doesn't need God. But how did it become a special way? Like, it just seems like he's very, where if you have an intelligent designer who's making sure that things are built and made to be properly survivable, right? It just seems very interesting. What do you guys think?
I think it's probable.
Yeah, like what though? What's probable? That God's involved, or that it's
God's
just
involved.
naturally happens
That God's involved.
in a special way?
Not in a special way.
I know, it's okay. So I love this book so far. We're like really early days, but I love this book so far because it's really showing the kids the secular viewpoint, but then also giving an answer from a Christian perspective. And so not only are the kids, you guys, not only are the kids gleaning this information so that when they go out into the world, it's not going to be a surprise to them. They're learning from like really intelligent people like Richard Dawkins and what his viewpoint is, how he logically concludes his belief system, and then what a Christian perspective is from really smart, intelligent people as well. And so I'm really loving this book. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about the Hungry Planet, right girls? So we're going to look at the different places in the world and what they look like. This book is really kind of awkward, so I'm not really biking right at the moment. 118. I try to, based on whatever we're learning about, to try and keep everything in the same kind of area, and these books are really good for that because it's really easy to kind of just mark those pages and make sure that they make sense. So this is about a family who lives in Egypt and what they eat, right? So let's talk about this. So this is the Ahmed's extended family in Cairo apartment. So girls, can you look at the picture? This is the Ahmed family. And do you see how many family? Sienna.
The ramen family.
Can you see how many family members there are?
1, 2, 3.
And then it tells you the price of that food and everything. It's very cool. So, Korean, Cairoian, maybe, cuisine. There is nothing, girls, are you listening? There is nothing fast about Egyptian food, and on this steamy spring day in Cairo, it's probably just as well. Nadia Mohammed Ahmed and her sister-in-law Abadir sit barefoot and cross-legged on the floor in Nadia's apartment.
Bring out the thing that you got for dinner.
Companionably coring baby eggplants and stuffing them with spicy chopped lamb for their evening meal. All right, so we are starting our read aloud for our Africa unit now, and it's called The Golden Goblet by Eloise Jarvis McGraw.
Jarvis, where?
That's her name. All right. We really like having these books that are, excuse me, that are living books that show kind of what it was like to live. Watch the colors dull. Splendid images drifted through his mind, gold forms and shapes, any one of which might be the destiny of this very small ingot that he got. Renifer, the son of Thurtra, had poured. It might become part of a wide and glittering collar, or an inlay of a fine dagger for some nobleman's tomb, or better, a cup fit for Pharaoh himself, shaped like a flower and hammered into fragile thinness. Well, perhaps not the cup, Ranfer admitted to himself after a little reflection. It was only a small ingot after all. Besides, such a cup as he had pictured could never come from this particular gold house. No one here had the skill to fashion it, not even Rech, the goldsmith himself. Only Zaul, the greatest gold worker in all of Thebes, could make such a cup. Zaul, the master, could make anything. From his artist's fingers sprang objects of such wonderful beauty. Wonderful. Cups, bowls, boxes, necklaces, daggers, great golden collars, bracelets, exquisite amulets that Pharaoh himself would be served by no other smith. So we just finished reading our pages on the Golden Goblet. We are now going to go do our table work together. This is the afternoon part of our day. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video and the stuff that we did. And I am loving how our morning's working. I love the rotation of the books that Abby has shown in the past. And I'm just really enjoying how there's such a varied things that we're looking into and praying for and seeing just how different the world is, and I'm just loving that. So our morning routine does look different because it's a late morning, early afternoon sometimes, and that's okay. That's okay. And I hope that you enjoy this video. Check the description box below and you will see a link to all of these lovely ladies' channels, but also the link to the playlist down below so you can see all the other mamas and what their morning routines look like. So thank you again, Abby and Jessica, and we will see you each month until May or June. I can't remember, but I hope you're as excited as I am. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.